Hello there, welcome to this live design masterclass with me, Carol, and of course with the very talented Natalia Colman. It only seems like this time last week, Natalia, that we were doing another masterclass.
I know, hasn't that flown, that 7 days?
It really has. Last Thursday at this time we brought you a live masterclass with metal clay where we gave you the chance to come in and get brand new products and of course the metal clay starter pack. Today's relatively similar in the fact that we're going to give you the chance to come in and get the silver clay starter pack, but also these brand new hand designed, hand drawn texture stamps. These are amazing. They've been designed by Natalia. Natalia, did you make these because you couldn't find exactly the design you wanted elsewhere?
Well, yeah, that's where I started with my rubber stamp designing, but what I'm doing now is I'm creating designs that I really like, that I know that aren't on the market. So my favourite things are animals. That's anybody who knows my designs well knows that I like to do the kind of four-legged, two-legged creatures. Yeah. So I love peacocks. That's why I've called it Peacock Passion. Yeah. And I love owls. What can I say?
So we've got a beautiful kind of owl and woodland stamp, well, two stamps actually in this one pack, and then we've got a beautiful peacock inspired one as well. These have all been made from drawings, freehand drawings that Natalia has done. So you won't find anything like this anywhere else. These two are coming up in a few moments actually. What's it called? Twilight textures. Oh, that's so lovely. I do love owls. I love owls till they're beautiful, aren't they? Gorgeous. And peacocks as well. Stunning. So those are coming up today. But first, let me show you what this medium is all about. This is one of the most exciting mediums I think you can work in on JewelleryMaker. We launched metal clay, I reckon it must be coming up to 2 years ago on JewelleryMaker, and it was a fantastic launch. Before that though, we brought you silver clay. Now silver art clay, this is a starter pack which you are going to get. Silver art clay is something which is tremendously diverse, but it's very different to other jewellery making mediums because what you are physically making from a piece of clay is fine, precious metal. From this 7-gram pack of silver art clay, you are going to be able to make not 925 sterling silver, which is what we generally bring you on JewelleryMaker and on our sister channels, and what you will generally find on the high street and on the internet, but 99.9% pure silver. So effectively 999 silver rather than 92.5% pure silver, 99.9% pure silver. This is fine, precious metal. It really is quite incredible, and it's the most amazing process to watch, physically being able to make fine, precious metal out of essentially a piece of clay. Now this starter pack is going to give you pretty much everything that you need to start your silver clay hobby. So you start off with 7 grams of clay, so 7 grams of your silver art clay. And as we go throughout the show today, we'll give you the chance to come in and get more clay, which will be brilliant, but we'll also show you what kind of pieces have about 7 grams of clay in them, just to give you a rough idea how much you can make from this starter pack. Okay, so your 7-gram pack of clay. You're also going to be getting, and this is quite similar to the metal clay pack, although never cross-contaminate, if you know what I mean. If you've got the metal clay pack and you want to get the silver clay one, you know, come in and get the starter pack rather than just adding the clay. You're going to be getting your wire brush so you can get that gorgeous finish on your silver clay pieces, your acrylic roller, your metal tweezers, 2 emery boards just to file those pieces down. You're also going to be getting wet and dry sandpaper. You've got a cutter, which is a fantastic cutter. It's seam-free as well, which is just brilliant. Great for making earrings and charms out of this one. You're also going to be getting a water artist pen, which helps you to blend pieces of clay together and to blend those kind of designs so you get a lovely, lovely finish on them. You're also going to be getting an agate burnisher, which is wonderful because it allows you to create a really, really high shine on your silver clay pieces once they're fired. You've got an acrylic slide. It has got a piece of sticky kind of brown paper on the top of it, but it is essentially a clear, transparent piece of acrylic, which you can see there to roll onto. You also get playing cards, and you're going to see all of these being used on today's show. A pack of playing cards. You're also going to be getting your clay balm, which smells beautiful. It's a really, really lovely balm. So your clay balm to stop it sticking to various surfaces, and also your heat-proof gauze. Now, the only other thing which you need to add onto your add onto this to make this a hobby for you and to make it work, it's either if you have a gas cooker, that's absolutely fine. If you don't have a gas cooker, a gas camping stove will do, won't it, Natalia?
Yes, or a gas torch.
Or a gas torch. Oh, fantastic. Okay, right. So you've got your starter pack. You're going to see all of this being used on today's show. It really is the most amazing medium to work in. You are physically creating fine, precious metal, 99.9% pure silver. If you have any questions today for Natalia, please do not hesitate. Please give us a no, don't give us a call. Text us. Sorry, I do beg your pardon. Give us a text. Our text number is this: 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio. Take no notice of the time code on there. Just give us a text. It's 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio. Your name. And whatever your question is. Any questions at all for Natalia, we'd love to hear from you today. Now, your whole kit here, this starter pack, is literally everything that you need apart from a gas cooker or a gas stove or a gas torch. Today, everything here for one great price. Give us a call when you can. 0800 6444 655 39.95, or copy and paste that code into our website jewellerymaker.com. Now that price there, if you've been watching Jewellery Maker for quite a while, you'll understand and you'll realise probably that that price there is actually far, far, far lower than where it has been before. So it has been $44.95 before, today $39.95. Now do add this onto your order. It's a fantastic, fantastic toolkit. It's a great starter pack. I've already got people coming through on the web and on the phone lines for this, which is great. You are going to see all of these tools being used on, well, pretty much all of these tools being used on today's show. And any questions you have at all for Natalia, please feel free to text in. You can also book onto Natalia's workshops. When's your next silver clay workshop, Natalia?
Tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
It is, and I think there are spaces still if anybody wants to get in at the last minute.
Oh, fantastic. What's the workshop tomorrow?
The Introduction to Silver Clay.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So, Introduction to Silver Clay. From speaking to quite a few people on your workshops, Natalia, there's quite a few people who actually buy this starter pack and then book onto your workshop, and so then they've got the kit to go home to.
Yes, that's right. Or they've bought it and they're not really sure about starting. They feel a bit nervous, and so they feel that the workshop would be a great way to get them eased into it, which it is. You know, it's a very lovely, calming experience, and you learn loads and loads. I learn loads every time.
Fantastic. Well, if you want to book onto Natalia's workshop, which is actually tomorrow, Introductory to Silver Clay, then please go for it. Speak to the call centre or Live Help. We'll get you booked on. We've got another one on the 1st of August as well, which is going to be wonderful. And there's one in 5th of September. 5th of September as well, which is wonderful. So fantastic. Get booked onto those. Now, Natalia, when did your journey with silver clay start?
Approximately 6 years ago. I was looking for a silversmithing course, and as I was searching on search engines on the internet, I came across silver clay, and I was thinking, what does that mean, silver coloured clay, what is it? And I started to investigate a bit more, and I thought, wow, this is actually, it's pure silver, so it's 99.9% silver, but it's in clay form, invented by the Japanese, and so that was it. I was on a mission because I felt as though that would be much better for me, and I find that a lot of people like to do that. They learn metal smithing skills as well, but they love the idea of using clay.
How is this different to silversmithing, Natalia? Because there are silversmiths out there. How does this differ?
Well, you work with sheet metal in silversmithing, and so the metal is in its metallic form. It's hard, so you have to saw it, you have to cut it. With this, you've got tiny particles of silver suspended in water and a special binding agent that makes it like a ceramic clay. So it's a little bit like porcelain clay if you've ever worked with ceramics. It's beautiful. So it's a lot softer than polymer clay. It's a very elegant material to work with. So
with silversmithing, you would have to have big, heavy tools and lots of heavy machinery to work with to really force it into the shape you want, and brute force.
Yes.
Whereas with this is something you can do in your kitchen, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very, very easy and simple.
And it's quite portable as well. You know, I've ended up preparing for shows in hotel rooms the night before, and it really is easy to do.
This is fantastic. So any questions at all, please do text in. We'd love to hear from you today. Now, Natalia, I know you want to show us a few different demos today. We do have these incredible texture stamps which you're going to be launching in just a few seconds. What would you like to demo for us today? What are you going to be showing us?
Well, I've got some finished work there as examples, so I can show you the kind of
just amazing pieces
that you can make using the different texture designs. But I have a piece here that that I would like to start off with.
Yeah, please.
And that is from, if I just tilt it to the camera.
Oh, that's good. Look how shiny it is. It's beautiful.
And I love the idea of these trees, almost you know, like a forest in winter.
It's exactly what it looks like. They're beautiful, aren't they?
And it's just a really nice texture. You can use it as an arty type texture, just as a suggestion of a texture, or you can use it like I have done here, where you're creating an actual pendant that has the full design on it, and you've got three-dimensional effect there too.
They're very, very delicate, these textures. They're beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. If you do want to add, oh, what's that at the bottom of the screen there? Sorry, Scott. Oh, the DVD, fantastic. One of Natalia's DVDs, details are at the bottom of your screen. Now, you have done a number of silver clay DVDs, haven't you?
Yes, I've done some for JewelleryMaker in the series, so, you know, there's guest designer series, but these are my own film DVDs, which are the equivalent of coming on an introduction workshop and an advanced workshop with me. So the first DVD, which is the purple one, Silver Clay Made Simple, is the equivalent of the introduction workshop. So we go through everything from opening your first packet of clay right through to rolling out, cutting, shaping, texturing, finishing, firing, what to do if you break a piece, how you can mend it. We're going right into depth in the firing as well. You get to see my kitchen, my gas hob. I cleaned it first before he was filming.
Fantastic.
And yeah, we make a few pieces of jewellery on that.
Wonderful. This really is a fantastic DVD. It's a really, it's got lots and lots of chapters. There are 14 chapters on here, and you learn how to make everything from these beautiful leaf earrings to a domed pendant. There's lots and lots and lots of information on these. It's got over 100 minutes of footage on here of tips and techniques on this DVD. Everything from drying your pieces to essential tools to working with the clay, how to make a pendant, finishing and polishing your fired pieces as well. 3 different ways to fire your silver clay. There are loads and loads and loads of chapters and lots of information here which you can which help you on your silver clay journey. And that is just $14.95 for this DVD, which is just fantastic. It's wonderful, isn't it? Just great. And it's a really quite lengthy DVD, isn't it? It's fantastic. It's packed full of information.
Go into detail with that.
Great. So if you want to add that onto your order, go for it. It's a really top-selling DVD, this one on JewelleryMaker, so it's great. And like I said, this is Natalia's own DVD, so just go for it. Get it, add it to your order. Lovely. We also have another one of Natalia's DVDs here, which is Further Adventures in Silver Clay.
Adventures, yeah. So that's continuing the journey. You've got 8 projects on there. We wrap the techniques up to make it much more technical. So you've got painting with paste onto a leaf.
Oh,
You've got ring making, setting simple stones into clay, and fingerprint keepsakes, which are a really big thing at the moment.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to do.
So that's for you, you know, when you have your little
yeah.
you might want to do that. But there's a lot of techniques, but a lot of projects on that as well.
Fantastic. So we can all be inspired by Natalia's pieces there. How to make rings, how to make your own moulds, and these beautiful fingerprint keepsakes. These are really popular at the minute, aren't they, Natalia?
They are. Elton John had 100 made.
Did he?
His baby.
Did he really?
He did. He didn't ask me to do them, which is just such a shame.
It is a shame, isn't it, Natalia? I don't know what he was thinking. Right, so you're going to be showing us, first of all, the Twilight stamp.
Yeah.
Now, can we launch these yet, Scott? Because I can't wait to bring you these. These are 2 hand-drawn stamps. And what do we mean by hand-drawn, Natalia? You've actually drawn these designs, haven't you?
I've created them and drawn them myself, and
they're so adorable.
The owl ones, I just adore owls, and there aren't really any stamps. So there's kind of clip-arty type images, but nothing that's arty looking. The trees are like the Kabbalah tree, you know, the tree of life that has that kind of mystical quality about it, and it just has that kind of everything to do with the night in those 2
Just beautiful.
Textures.
What I love so much about these, Natalia, is the detail on these. The detail, you can tell that they've come from a hand-drawn piece which you have created. You're getting 2 stamps here, so you're going to be getting, well, no, actually, effectively, it's not 2 stamps, it's 2 large stamps. But of course, you're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 owls, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trees as well. So you're going to be getting dozens of different stamps here. It's not just, don't look at this as just 2 stamps, because you're going to be getting all these owls and all these trees, and it's just lovely. The finished product looks amazing. Whether you're looking at, oh, look at that, beautiful. See, that's gorgeous, isn't it? That's such a sweet design.
And the texture's inverted. So what that means is that what you get is kind of a convex effect when you press the texture into the stamp, so it stands out in relief. And so you get to see the owl there, and then you can polish it up using your agate burnish, which I'll show later on.
Just love it. I think it's gorgeous.
And also, you know, when you're using metal clays, you want something very subtle, and there's a lot of rubber stamps on the market that are for paper crafts.
Right.
Or for cake decorating, so they're big, bold designs, but they're also quite deep.
Deep, yes.
So you want something that has more subtlety, and it doesn't destroy your clay and make it too squashed down. So these are created especially for metal clays, but they can be used with polymer clay as well, to great effect. And Hannah Oxbury's been experimenting and using them with jewel enamels.
Ah, so, that's a nice idea.
And she sent me a photograph last night. It looked fantastic, so I can't wait till you can see those.
It's one of those almost kind of barely there designs. Yes. It's so soft, it's so subtle, and as you say, it's completely different to definitely some of the polymer clay molds, stamps that we've seen in the past, and definitely different to the papercraft ones as well. And different actually to any of your stamps that we've seen before. This is very different from the animal print ones that you've done as well.
So a bit of a departure for me, so I really enjoyed designing these and actually using them and creating the examples.
I bet you did. So. Now, these are brand new today. This literally is the first time they've ever been brought to air. We have been bringing you some other texture stamps over the last few weeks, of Debbie Bulford's, for instance, which have flown out the door. I know we've already got a lot of interest on the phone lines for these at the minute, so get them now, add them to your order. You're the first people ever to see these stamps. You're the first people ever to get the chance to come in and get these, and today for these 2 massive stamps, this is your price. £14.95p. They're just wonderful, and as you said earlier on, Natalia, because they're freehand drawn, there's nothing else like this on the market.
There isn't, and also these are only available from JewelleryMaker. This is the exclusive launch of JewelleryMaker. Can't even get them from my website.
Exclusive to JewelleryMaker. I like the sound of that. So these are exclusive to JewelleryMaker. What a fantastic treat for you today, just gorgeous. I love all these different stamps you're going to be getting here. And like we've already said, it's not just 1 stamp you're going to be getting, it's 2 sheets of stamps. Just fantastic, lots and lots and lots of you there, well done. So you're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 owls. And you're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trees. So it's just wonderful. Add them to your order. If you do want to add more than 1 of them onto your order, then go for it.
Yeah, because you can use them with different clays then. You can use polymer clay,
Exactly. Now, what are you going to be showing us first?
I'm going to show you the tree pendant.
Oh, yes, please.
So, I'm going to pop that there. And then, so I'm using a 20-gram pack of clay for this because it's quite a big piece. I wouldn't use the whole 20 grams of it. But
I'm going to pop that just there. Is that right? Lovely.
You line me up, Carol.
I will.
Sort me out.
I'm sorting you out, Natalia.
So this is a new formula of art clay. It came out at Christmas time, and it doesn't matter if you've got older formula, still sitting in your cupboard. That's perfectly fine. It lasts for about 5 years.
Oh wow, that's good to know.
So it's fine. But what I'm doing is I just take it out of the packet and I condition it between some cling film. So I've triple wrapped some cling film. And that's just to get the binders moving around and get the particles of silver going, because it's just been sitting in a packet. It's been all the way on a boat from Japan, so and then it arrived here in Redditch, and goodness knows where it's going next.
I know. Fantastic.
So I'm using some of the balm from the starter kit.
Lovely.
And I'm just using a little Teflon sheet here to roll out onto. You could use a plain card or a craft mat, as long as you put plenty of balm on and make sure it doesn't stick. I actually just put a little bit on my roller as well.
Good idea.
And then I'm going to use the whole lot, because any excess that I have, I'm just going to put back in my cling film.
Okay.
and then start rolling out. So I want a general kind of shape. I don't want it to be, I'm not going to use a cutter to cut this out. So
nice, it's going to be nice and organic then.
It will, and so if you do something like this, it will be different every time, which makes your designs unique, which we all like unique, don't we?
Yeah. It's incredible to think, Natalia, that what you're working with there is a clay which is going to turn into 99.9% pure silver.
I know.
It's
and
amazing.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's surreal sometimes. Even I catch myself thinking, is this really metal? And in the silver clay workshop, we do a bit of polishing before we actually, I haven't put my cards down, Carol.
Do you know what, Natalia? I was looking at that, I was thinking, she hasn't put any playing cards down. Maybe this is all part of her...
Chatting. Oh dear, that's so
She's
funny.
meant to be professional. She's meant to know what she's actually doing here.
I know. Do you know, I was going to wait and see if anybody texted in and said, she hasn't actually got anything to measure. Right, so the thickness of the cards, 5 playing cards.
Here we go.
So you can see, if you do want to squish it back up, you can. You see, you know, when you say, oh, even professionals make mistakes, I make more than most.
So you've got your 5 playing cards there to make sure that the clay is the same thickness all the way through.
Yes, that's
lovely.
Right. And can you see I'm just picking my clay up and moving it around? Yeah. And this new formula of clay, it doesn't dry out as quickly.
Ooh, yeah, I remember you saying that actually. This is a new variety, isn't it?
I used to go around my workshops telling everybody, don't touch the clay, you're going to dry it out. And actually we have quite a bit longer working time with it. So people can rest easy, there's no stress in the training rooms anymore. So I'm going to get my my trees. This I've been using with a bit of polymer clay, so it's a little bit black. And I always put a little bit of balm on this rubber because it's a really fine grade rubber. It's lovely, but it can stick. Particularly because this new formula of clay is a little bit tacky when it comes out of the packet. Once it starts to air dry a little bit, and they've got great air conditioning in the studio, so it's probably drying as we speak. So I'm going to move my 5 playing cards out of the way, and then what you need to do is to just gauge where you want the edge of the texture, and then I'm going to press down. And the idea of this is you want it to be quite organic looking. So I'm using my fingers to press. Now you do have to press quite firmly because you're trying to get that recessed texture.
Yes, of course, yes.
And so don't remove it because we don't know whether I've done that fully. So I'm just going to lift the edge of it, and it has actually come out quite nicely.
Oh, it has.
So there we go. So can you see if I just tilt that to the camera?
It's just such a lovely, lovely stamp, this one. As you were saying earlier on, it's perfect for silver clay because it's not going to squash the clay too much. It's not going to kind of disfigure the clay, and they're just the right depth, aren't they? They're nice and shallow.
Yeah, that's it. Shallow is really that's what we need. And I'm just using a clay pick to cut around this. You could use a craft knife as well. It doesn't really matter. I have people in the workshops using cocktail sticks because we're going to refine it afterwards.
Lovely.
And so to just create the shape that you want. And no 2 designs will look the same. Oh, that's gorgeous. These moulds have been these stamps have been very, very, very popular. It's hardly any surprise. They're brand new today. You are the first people ever to see these brand new stamps. So just to clarify, the details there, $14.95 for your Twilight stamp set, which of course gives you all the owls and the trees and all these gorgeous woodland qualities. Not very many of these left at all, so do please add these to your order if you want to multi-buy. Just go for it. I think these are great for kids to use as well. And you can use them with polymer clay, can't you? You can use them across loads of different And this is the reason
mediums.
why I did the different sizes of trees and owls, because when you're using polymer clay, you're not worrying about the amount of clay that you're using. You want something that's a bigger design. And also, likewise with things like copper and bronze clay, you might want to create a bigger design there too. With the silver clay, we're really economic.
Yeah, why not? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Right, okay, what do we do next then, Natalia?
So what I've done is I've cut this random shape out, which I think is quite attractive, and I just did a kind of wiggly way that I cut it out.
It's very nice, yes. Lovely.
And then we're going to put some holes in it, like pilot holes, before we set it to dry. So I'm just using a cocktail stick. And,
technical tool here, everyone.
Cocktail sticks are your best friends.
Just pop your head back a little bit. Thanks, Natalia.
I was getting engrossed in this and forget what.
That's okay.
So you can see that I've put.
Oh, you put your pilot holes in. Okay.
Put my pilot holes in because I wanted the pilot holes at the top, you could have them on the side, whatever you want.
So you will make those holes again, I suppose, after you've fired the piece?
Yes, to tidy them up. You know, you could use a bead reamer, you could use a little pin vise to do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break my cocktail sticks. I'm being really economical with my cocktail sticks because I never seem to have enough. And then just lifting the edge of the clay up, I want to have the clay have this kind of wavy look to it. So wherever you support the clay to dry, it will literally have.
Right, that's how you get the wavy quality.
3D.
Oh, you're clever. Lovely.
And it just is so much nicer than having a
flat piece.
I mean, flat pieces are great because we've got some flat pieces.
Do you know what, Natalia? I thought cocktail sticks were just for putting sausages on.
They're never for putting sausages on. In fact,
never just for putting sausages on them.
Use a cocktail stick
or cheese and pineapple
at my house because it will have metal on it.
I love it.
And it messes with your fillings. My daughter made the mistake of actually using a cocktail stick for the traditional purposes, and she never did it again. She must think, I wish I had a normal mother. I really think she must think that.
Fantastic. So you put the other one under there as well.
Yeah.
And look at that, you get that lovely textured finish. Isn't that wonderful? What a simple tool.
And set it aside to dry. Now I've brought in just to show you.
Yeah.
I was always talking about this, and I never actually I'm kind of using my hands and just.
I've seen you use that in your workshop.
This is. It's like a little hostess.
It's so delicate, this. It's such a delicate tool, Natalia.
It's great. It's got a little heat temperature on it. And basically, it's fantastic. You can get these for about a tenner if you search around. Yes, and well-known continental supermarkets that are in every town. And also well-known places that stock everything that you go up to a counter.
I know, yes.
So basically, you usually get some little casserole dishes on these and keep your vegetables warm at Christmas and that kind of stuff.
It's just turning into a different channel, Natalia.
But
what do you use this for?
For drying my clay out.
Right.
So, sorry, I will get to the point eventually. I'm just doing the virtues of it. And so, if you're using a piece of Teflon, you can get these in a pack of 10 on the website.
Yes, you can. Yeah, brilliant.
And that won't burn on here, so you can put that straight on there.
Lovely.
And that will dry your clay out super fast. The other thing you can do is pop that in a cake tin and pop it into your oven.
Oh, lovely.
And or a baking tray. And then that will
pop it in an airing cupboard, maybe?
Airing cupboard, yes. Yeah. So this time of year, you could put your silver clay outside.
You could
on the windowsill, you know, where it's nice and sunny.
And how long will that take to dry, do you think?
A piece of that size would take about an hour to an hour and a half to dry.
Fantastic.
To allow it to dry, so we'll get that out of the way whilst we do that. Right, the other thing I want to do is, whilst we're on that texture stamp, is I want to show you how I did the little tree of life type design. So I'm going to get a fresh piece of Teflon. Some well-used Teflon. It lasts a long time.
So don't forget, you can get Natalia's, both of Natalia's DVDs here. You can get the Further Adventures in Silver Clay and the Silver Clay DVDs here. We're going to bring you the details at the bottom of the screen. They are separate, but you can add them separately onto your order for $14.95 each. You can also book onto Natalia's Silver Clay workshops. There's one tomorrow, there's one on the 1st of August, there's one on the 5th of September as well if you want to book onto those. You can also get the silver and metal clay DVDs from JewelleryMaker as well, which are $4.95 each. So, you can look at our YouTube channel for demonstrations, on our Facebook, sorry, not Facebook, on our website, jewellerymaker.com, for demonstrations as well. So there is so much information out there that will help you be guided by Natalia through all the processes of silver clay. Now,
okay, so we're going to see the tree. This always reminds me of, you know, the little pendants that Laura Binding does with the tree of life with the little gemstones in the middle. It's
absolutely
cool like that. So we're going to roll out into an oval shape, I guess.
Okay.
So when you're rolling, make sure that you bear in mind the shape that you want your clay to actually be. It may sound really obvious, but I see people in my workshops doing it all the time, but they're just rolling and it's just however it turns out, and then they go, oh, I actually wanted a circle and it's a square shape. So, so try and accommodate the shape that you're looking for as you roll.
And the thing which I'm noticing, Natalia, is you're always moving the clay. You're always moving it around. You're always
yeah, a bit like pastry.
Yeah.
So we want something that's a little bit larger at the top than at the bottom, because that's the shape of my tree, you see. Okay, so once I've got that as flat as I can get it, the cards stop it from getting any flatter.
Yeah.
When you remember to put the cards down.
Yes, and, Natalia.
We're going to do the big tree. We're going to go for the big tree, seeing as we've got 20-gram piece of clay here. So you've got different abilities here. So you've got a very fine design, that one, and then this one deeper with a big
It's lovely that you've got the option.
And then again, just checking. Sorry, I have to put my head forward to do that.
That's all right.
I can't see.
Oh, look at that going on there. Lovely. It's really important to put your balm on, isn't it, before you put the stamp on?
It is, because you know, you can risk getting it stuck in there. And these textures are great to go through your polymer clay rolling.
I was going to ask you that actually. Are they thin enough to go through the polymer clay pasta?
They are,
clay rolling machine.
Indeed, and that's the purpose of them, and doing this red rubber, because most of the time the rubber stamps are the grey rubber, which is thicker, heavier stuff.
Ah, right. So these are that little bit thinner.
High quality, more expensive. Costs me more to produce these.
Oh, does it?
It does.
Well, there you go. They're still $14.95. I don't know how Natalia feels about that, but anyway.
I have them made in the UK as well, so that's actually.
Oh, they're British made. Nice.
So I'm going to peel that off gently. It will come off.
Oh, look at that.
A little bit stuck at the bottom, but
that's okay.
Doesn't affect us because we're going to cut that off.
Oh, that is great.
So then what I'm going to do is cut around that, so you can see that you get a really great design there, and you really get the detail of the tree. And this is literally just making a very organic hand-cut design.
Yeah, it's really lovely. It's almost like a piece of torn parchment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And this is the thing that you know, when you get to the point where I'm using this analogy very loosely, but you know, Picasso, when he started out, he did everything the right way, you know, and then he became much looser and looser, and that's the point that you get to, that the more that you experiment and work with things, the less you want to use cut-out shapes, the more you want to do free-handed.
No, that's brilliant. It just shows how much more confident you are with your silver and metal clay now. It's wonderful.
So that's the tree
that's
shape.
gorgeous.
And you can actually see a finished piece.
Oh yes, which one is
on
it?
The top
is it this
necklace,
one here?
Yeah.
Now look at this.
And how well that's actually picked up the detail on there.
I see, that is beautiful.
And if you just want to pass that over.
That's gorgeous,
Carol.
Stunning. Now, at the minute, it's saying that the DVDs, sorry, I do beg your pardon, sorry. You may have had trouble getting the DVDs and adding them onto your order. You can get them. I think for a moment there, it said that they were out of stock. They are still in stock. So if you want to get the Silver Clay Made Easy or the Further Adventures in Silver Clay DVD to add them onto your order for $14.95, you can do. $14.95 each, I hasten to add. You can add them onto your order. There was a bit of a technical glitch there which prevented you from getting these a few seconds ago, but they are definitely in stock. So rest assured you can get them and add them onto your order. Okay, fantastic. Right, now, what are we going to do now?
Could you pass me the finished piece, just so I can show you
what
I've done at the back?
Can.
So what this is I've shown you how I was cutting holes out to make you know, holes for findings.
Yes, of course.
Well, this piece, it actually has a bail, so you can see it's got its own bail.
Lovely. Oh, look at that.
And so what I'm going to do is it's a bit wonky there.
How do you do that
how
then?
I did the bail. It's a really simple little bail. I'm going to roll this out onto a playing card, because I've used all my Teflon up. You can see my playing cards are nice and well worn, and I don't chuck them away.
They are, aren't they?
I want them to earn their keep.
Yes, exactly.
So,
okay, so a bit of clay balm on there.
And taking a little piece of clay, because we don't want to use too much. And then what I'm going to do is I want to roll a longer strip of clay. Like that, because I don't want anything too big for my bail, because it's just a small bail on the back of the piece there. And then I'm going to use one of my other textures, which we're going to launch in a second.
Now, let me show you this new texture. I can't quite, this is just beautiful, Natalia. Tell us a little bit about this texture stamp, because it is incredible. I can't believe you've done this, Natalia. It's wonderful.
Well, I call this set of textures Peacock Passion, because I absolutely adore peacocks. Yeah. I love them in the wild. I love the whole, you know, the design of the feathers, the colours. I'm just passionate about peacocks. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to have rubber stamps where there was a whole shape of a peacock with the beautiful elaborate feathers, but then also the feather design itself, because that is so beautiful on its own. So you've got the choice of both of those. Now, the peacocks, you can see you've got the different sizes, so you can use them. You can use these for paper crafts as well, and for stamping onto shrink plastic, as well as polymer clay.
Oh yes, of course.
But you can also invert these textures like the owl ones were done. So here, what I've done is I have rolled these stamps out onto a piece of polymer clay, just using a rolling pin.
Yes.
And it can be scrap polymer clay, doesn't have to be anything fancy, quite thin. And then I've just baked it in the oven. And what you get is you get an opposite, so it's actually standing out convex.
Oh,
so this
that's
is concave.
fantastic, that's ingenious.
And we have an example of the finished pattern of the peacock leaf, if you
Is that
want to.
one there?
Yeah, that's right. And that's actually in an upcoming DVD for JewelleryMaker, but you get a sneak preview of that. But it's a necklace with its own clasp.
Oh, it's beautiful,
using
Natalia.
that peacock leaf design.
And you've inverted that design, so the design is coming out of the polymer clay rather than being sunken into, sorry, not polymer clay, coming out of the metal clay rather than sunk into the silver clay.
That's right. And so you,
wow.
in 5 minutes with some scrap polymer clay, and then obviously baking it in the oven, you can create yourself 4 textures.
Now this is going to be really, really exciting. I've never seen a stamp so intricate on JewelleryMaker before. This really is a testament to Natalia as a jewellery designer, as a silver clay artist, because the designs, as you can see here, they are pin precise. The precision is incredible. I can't decide which ones I like more. I absolutely love peacocks as well. They're so majestic, they're so beautiful, and the feathers just look wonderful. The designs you're going to be able to create with these many stamps is quite incredible. And as Natalia said, you can use the whole stamp or you can use just little sections of it. I think that they would both look equally as beautiful. Now, I've got a lot of you who've already come to get this on the web. I've got lots of you waiting on the phone lines as well. Today, for these brand new Peacock Passion stamps, this is your price. $14.95 as well. This is just lovely, just fantastic, Natalia. And if you do want to multi-buy this, please go ahead, do it, because these are brand new. You are the first people ever to get a chance to come in and get these. You really are. And if they go as well as the Twilight stamps that we just bought you, goodness me, there's not going to be very many left at all by the end of this masterclass. This is just so lovely, Natalia. Thank you so much for doing these. And these are, again, exclusive to JewelleryMaker.
Exclusive to JewelleryMaker, not available anywhere else.
Fantastic, isn't that lovely? And there's nothing like this anywhere else.
There isn't.
These really remind me of the, you know, the gorgeous new polymer clay moulds that we have, which are shipped over from either Canada or America. They really remind me of those because they are so detailed, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. And I wanted it to almost have that effect that you're actually pushing your clay into a mould, but that it's not that kind of design where, you know, you just see them. They're 10 a penny.
Yes, exactly. Lovely. Right, okay.
Now, whilst we were chatting about that texture, I just used my rubber to put over the silver clay whilst it's been rolled out, because that stops it from drying out as quickly.
Oh, nice.
It's a little haven for it.
Fantastic.
Otherwise it would be all dried up.
Like a little duvet.
You know what we're like when we get together.
I know, gaff bagging.
Yes.
Right.
So I put a little bit of clay balm onto. I'm using the biggest design there because that's a bit kind of.
What, and you're just going to use part of it?
I'm just going to use part of it because it's
nice.
really lovely as an example. So you can do it in whatever direction you want to, and then I'm going to press that down.
This is nice. You don't have to be too regimented about where you put the stamp then, do you, if you're just using part of the design?
And I'm pressing quite firmly because I'm not really bothered about squashing the clay out, and I'll tell you why, because I'm going to actually wrap this around itself so it is going to have more strength.
Perfect.
So there you go. So you can see the effect that you get with.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just show that to the camera. That's. Oh yeah, look at that.
Isn't that lovely? So you get this kind of just a snapshot of the design.
It's like a beautiful kind of William Morris print, isn't it? Like a Liberty print.
It has that Art Deco look about it.
Definitely does. Peacock feathers are so beautiful. They can be really vintage.
Now you can use a drinking straw. You could use a pencil. You can use anything you want to. I'm just using the bead reamer. That
go for it.
In the studio, we always have things around here that I can use.
We do. You're quite right.
I put a bit of balm on there because you don't want your clay will shrink and it'll stick to whatever you wrap it around. And then I'm literally just going to wrap this back around itself like that. And then if you just hold that for me, glamorous assistant. Thank you. I'm going to bring in the paste that we talked about. Oops, has it fallen off? Now, do you know what I said? hold that for me.
I did hold it. Right.
Do you know what? You can't get the assistants these days, can you? Anyway,
Sorry.
we can. If that happens to you, if somebody's assisting you and then they fail,
What happens? The trap door open?
yeah. No.
Trap
So
door
I'm going
opens.
to do that again. So I'm going to wrap that back around. As you can see, no damage done, thankfully. I'm going to spank her later.
Oh.
And then what we're going to do is using the paste. So this paste is
yeah.
the same recipe as the lump clay that we've been using, but it's actually has more water in it, so it has the consistency of melted ice cream.
Ooh.
We're using a cocktail stick, again a cocktail stick, to as a little tool, just to apply some of this paste, and this acts like a slip. So a slip basically like a glue. So if you know anything about ceramics, if you've done any pottery, then this is the same kind of principles, and then just that will hold it in place this time, you see.
Aha, like a glue.
Yeah.
We've got lots of you on the phone line for these stamps. There is a bit of a queue forming on the phones. If you want to come in and get this liquid clay, I've got it right here. 10 grams of liquid silver art clay. Just gorgeous. And we've seen Natalia use it there. This is great for fusing pieces of silver clay together, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and you can actually, if you fire a piece and it cracks slightly, because sometimes when you fire the silver, if there was a crack in there, you couldn't see it with your eyes, but it develops during firing, then sometimes it's quite disappointing. So you can actually take the paste and you can apply the paste into the fired clay where the crack is,
wow.
and you can fire it again, and then that will seal the crack.
That's fantastic. So it's definitely worth getting. Definitely worth getting this one. And this is your deal today for your silver art clay paste. $19.95, 10 grams in there as well, which is a nice big gram weight as well, which is just lovely. And as Natalia says, great for just repairing your pieces of silver clay as well as fusing pieces together as well. That's lovely. Fantastic. Right. So you'd let that rest for, well, you'd let that dry, wouldn't you? And then you'd get on to firing it as well.
Yes, you would.
Now, what do you want to show us now, Natalia? Because we've seen your textures, we've seen some of your pieces of jewellery. I'm really interested to see. I mean, can you show us any of these? I mean, I know this is coming up on a DVD, isn't it?
I probably can't, but what I can show you is I'll show you using the peacock texture to create something of that kind of
See,
design.
that would be lovely to see, I think, wouldn't it? It would be really, really lovely to see how you can use these clays.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's make some little earrings.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Shape. And then I have a couple of pieces that I've fired and I haven't polished yet.
Ooh,
so we can have
nice.
a go at the
Yes, please.
So, so I'm going to put a playing card down as my placemat almost, my craft mat. So playing cards are really good because they've got this nice smooth waxy coating on them.
I don't want to get you in trouble because you've got this DVD coming out. When's your DVD coming out? Do we know?
I don't know. I think it's all being edited and produced at the moment. So
Is it Finishing Touches, is it called?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a good one, that one.
So making your own clasps and toggles.
Oh, really?
And things like
oh, wow, that's going to be brilliant. Watch this space for that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so if I do it now, I'll get told off. And
you probably
I'll
will,
go upstairs
won't you?
and I'll get a big shepherd's hook around my neck.
Get her out.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So earrings now.
Yes. Okay.
Lovely.
So what we're going to do is just roll this out into a rectangular shape. So again, 5 playing cards thick. And can you see what's happened there is it's looking a bit crackly because it's very, very dry in this studio, very dry air. And you don't want that. That's when it's starting to dry, it's starting to get this kind of veins running through.
Okay, so what do you do?
So what you do is I have the water pen that comes in the starter kit.
Aha.
And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of water out of it because you can have water in the barrel of it. So it's like a fountain pen. And I'm just going to put a little bit of water, not much, tiny bit.
That's just a few little dabs there.
It's a bit like, you know when you make icing for cakes and you're just adding water drop by drop to your icing sugar, it's that kind of principle. So don't put too much, you can always just keep adding more. Now, so hopefully that will hydrate my clay a little bit because we're all a bit parched in this weather, aren't we?
Yes.
So can you see now the difference? So now we have
this
kind
nice and smooth.
and white appearance. So if there's any kind of dark grey patches, then you know that your clay's drying out.
Yeah.
And very easy to rehydrate it. So I'm going to use, shall I use the peacock feather design on that?
Yeah, why not?
And
That's
I'll
lovely.
use the one as it comes naturally on the texture.
Yeah, lovely.
And you can see you've got different size feathers here, so you can get a bigger, bolder effect or a smaller, more detailed effect. And I'm just going to randomly place that.
Definitely.
And then press that in.
Gorgeous. Okay.
And then again, holding it down without pulling it all the way back, because I don't know if I've pressed on hard enough. And then there we go.
Lovely, lovely, lovely stamps these. They've been very popular, Natalia.
Good, I hope so, because I love working with them, and you know, you kind of hope everybody else shares your passion, don't you? And then putting a little bit of balm on a mini cutter, or you can just, you know, use a plain card to cut the shape that you want, but this is easier for me because then I can get the exact size that I want. And so you can cut 2 shapes at once, so you can roll it out again, get the exact pattern you want. Do those side by side.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And to lean forward a little bit.
How much clay are you using there, Natalia? How much do you think?
I would say there's about 7 grams there.
So that's about how much clay you get in the starter pack for $39.95. So enough to make a really, really lovely pair of earrings.
And you've still got some left over here, so you can make a little bead or something.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. Make a little bead to go on the bottom of each one. That'll be really pretty. And don't forget, you're making 99.9% pure silver. Just show that to the camera. Oh, thank you, Natalia. You're already doing it.
So there we have.
I like that.
They're not completely symmetrical, so if you wanted them completely symmetrical, then you'd roll out again.
I like them like that. I think they look lovely.
So again, allow them to dry, fire them. I think we showed the introduction to silver clay video before
yes,
this.
We did, yes.
And then here are 2 that I did. I put some holes in before I fired them. Okay. But they look white because we haven't brushed them yet. So I have a brush down here.
This is where your starter pack comes in use, because you can now give this a good old rub with your wire brush.
And then you can see how you really see the detail on the piece.
Oh, look at that coming out. Isn't that beautiful?
When it's been fired. And a lot of people say to me in the workshops, oh, you know, I'm a bit worried that my texture that I've put onto the clay, that it's not deep enough. But you actually get the full benefit of seeing the texture once it's fired, because everything becomes smaller and finer and more refined after firing, because what happens during firing is all those tiny particles of silver, the binders burn away, and any gaps between them get closed up as the bits of particles of silver melt together, basically, and that's what makes it shrink. Nice
and shiny, nice and bright, and that is 99.9% pure silver.
It is.
It's incredible.
Wish we could have that extra 0.01%, but
so do I.
Able to for some reason. But there we go. So we've got those, and then we have the agate burnisher. And now for a big piece like this, you've got a big surface area here. I wouldn't use the burnisher to polish all of that big surface area.
What would you
background.
use?
I would use it to, well, you can get metal polishers, you can actually get different polishing products, and we're hoping to be stocking some of those soon as well. So we're building the product range. We're working with Hannah Roxbury to really build that up. And she came on one of my workshops so she could see exactly what was needed. So it's great. She's firsthand, she knows what you need. So I wouldn't do that large area because it has a scratchy quality, the agate burnisher, if you do that, we'll be honest. But for textures like these, it's absolutely perfect, which is what I had in mind when I was creating this, because anywhere that's raised up and is quite a small, tight kind of texture, then you can create this lovely effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just literally rubbing the agate tip across.
So the minute it's very bright, but it's not necessarily very shiny, is it?
No, that's it. And so, you know, you might want to leave that brush finished, because a lot of people really like that, because it's quite hard to achieve in normal metal smithing. You have to use acids and things to corrode the metal, whereas it's a naturally occurring effect in the firing process of this metal clay. So I've just done a little bit of it, and if I can show you, can you see the difference when I do that? You see the shine there?
Oh, see, that's really nice and shiny.
And it's a lovely, this is the part of the workshop, we get to the end of the day and we've fired everything, and everybody sits down and they're burnishing away, and all you can hear is this little scuffling noise, 10 little burnishes.
It's nice though.
Yeah, and it is really lovely. And so, so the whole process, it just continues, you know, you're designing and making, and then you're finishing.
We've had a question in, Natalia, we've had a question text in. I don't know who's texting, but we've had somebody text in Leanne, thank you very much for your question. From South Wales. Now, this is one which is asked quite a lot. So by all means, Leanne, you may have heard this before. However, we are hopefully going to be bringing a new product in which is going to help with this. It says, what gemstones can be set into silver rings before you fire them?
Okay. It's probably easier to say that there's a list of gemstones, there's quite a long list of gemstones that can't be fired, because no matter how hot the conditions are that the gemstone was formed in, it doesn't seem to have any kind of bearing on what can actually withstand the heat of being in hot metal.
Correct,
to
yes.
the temperature of up to 700 and 800 degrees C. So we do actually have a list on the JewelleryMaker blog. If anybody has individual queries, so for example, somebody emailed me the other day about a specific stone they wanted to set, and so do get in touch with me, and I have my own JewelleryMaker guest designer Facebook page, or just post something on the JewelleryMaker Facebook page as well. But things like peridot, off the top of my head, peridot, garnet, spinel, those are all safe to fire. Things to avoid, turquoise, all of the quartzes. Unfortunately, you can't fire any of those, and things like labradorite.
But there are ways to get around it as well. Now, hopefully over the next few weeks, we're going to be launching specific wires, which mean you can fire it with the silver clay and then set the gemstone in afterwards.
After firing is always the safest way to do it.
So you can pretty much set any gemstone into silver clay after you've fired it, but before you've fired it, there are quite a few gemstones that you can't do because they just can't withstand the heat. But go to the JewelleryMaker blog. If you have any specific questions about that, then make sure you go to Natalia's JewelleryMaker guest designer Facebook page and ask her those questions as well.
The other thing we're going to do is a gem setting in silver clay workshop. So that's going to start from September.
Leanne, fantastic. So you might want to book onto that one when we get the dates through for that. That would be great. Oh, fantastic. So you've used your agate burnisher, and Natalia's got both a piece which has been agate burnished and a piece which hasn't. You can see the difference. There is a really, really strong difference. One is very, very shiny. The other one is still beautiful and bright, but just not as shiny.
You can probably see it there a bit.
Yeah, definitely. They're both beautiful though, aren't they? They're gorgeous.
So you can choose how you want to do that.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay.
All right. Shall I show just using a little bit of the texture on a pair of earrings?
Yes, please.
Quickly. And again, we haven't brushed those or done anything with them. So
lovely. This is gorgeous, isn't it? What a lovely, lovely masterclass. I can't believe we've been able to bring you these two new stamps. I feel really lucky. They've both been going very, very well, Natalia. People seem to love them, particularly the owls as well. We're getting some nice responses about the owls, which I love. I think it's a lovely, lovely texture sheet, this one. They're all so cute, aren't they? And owls are everywhere at the minute, aren't they, Natalia? In textiles, in jewellery, and actually on the show today in the shrink plastic, in your shrink plastic book. I know you love owls, don't you? Because you've got a gorgeous, because you've got a lovely design in your book for owls, haven't you? Now your Twilight texture stamp is at the bottom of the screen there, $14.95 if you want to add that onto your order. I think this is going to be a lovely, lovely thing for you to get involved with polymer clay, various other mediums as well. You know, it's not just about silver clay here. Just fantastic. Sorry, what was that, Scott? Oh, fantastic. We just popped a link on the Facebook page, Leanne, and for anyone else who's interested about what gemstones you can and can't fire with silver clay. So, fantastic. Lovely.
And I'd love to hear your experiences of doing that as well, because sometimes they can change colour, but in a good way, you know, it can still look really effective.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Lovely.
I've just rehydrated my clay a little bit, because it's getting a bit hot in here as well. The clay's struggling in this weather. And so just rolling that out. Now, if you get, so I've got a little bit of crackliness on there. It's not because it's too dry, it's because the clay just got seams in it. And so a way of getting around that is take your texture, just make sure you put some balm on, and just press the texture into the clay. Don't ask me why this works, but it does. And then fold it over and roll it out again.
Oh!
And what happens is somehow it just seems to sort the clay out and make it all smooth again.
It does, doesn't it?
So there you go.
Isn't that interesting?
It's a
okay,
little
lovely.
trick that I learned at a conference. It's amazing the things that people find out. And we're going to use our peacock texture again.
Okay.
So we're going to use the whole fan of
Bit
the
more
tail.
balm. Goodness me, you get through that balm, don't you?
Well, you think so,
Woo!
but you're still, you know, on one pot 2 years later. So it goes a long way. And I'm just going to place that on there, and again, press down. And then just to show you the kind of effects that you get, just doing that. Haven't pressed hard enough. Trial and error.
And it's just fantastic that what you're physically making here is 99.9% pure silver. Details for the silver art clay starter kit at the bottom of the screen there, which is an absolute essential if you're going to be doing this. A lot of people get the kit before they go on Natalia's workshops. There are a couple of spaces left on Natalia's silver clay workshop tomorrow if you want to book onto it. It's going to be lovely. Fantastic. Right.
So, little cutters from JewelleryMaker website.
Yay!
Polymer clay cutters.
These are
fantastic.
lovely, lovely cutters.
Yeah, because you just got the right size for these small projects. And I'm using the teardrop shaped one because you can see with the design with the feathers that you've got these teardrops.
That's going to work.
That's the sort of echoing that.
Yes,
design.
absolutely.
So I'm going to pop that down and then just try and capture what we want there. So pressing that into the clay, and then take your clay away, and then you have this lovely design left over. So again, you don't have to have the entire peacock, you can just have the design.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now, if you're doing a design like this, where you've got a point, this bottom part of the teardrop shape is very secure because it's round.
Of course it is,
so
yes.
circles are the strongest pieces that you can make when you're using metal clays. Anything that has a point, has corners, is a bit tricky because it's vulnerable. And these are the ones that get broken most in my workshops.
Okay.
So when
Good to know.
Well, when you're making a hole in the piece, you need to make sure that you come in at least 0.5 centimetre, maybe a little bit lower, when you're adding a jumpering hole, finding hole on anything that has a point in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just so you don't compromise the strength of the piece, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
And then here's a couple of pieces that I made.
Oh, these are so lovely.
So I'm going to brush those down and.
Gorgeous. We've had another text in, Natalia, from I think that's Cheryl. What a lovely name.
Cheryl, yeah.
Which says, hi Natalia and Carol. Hi. I bought this kit a while ago, but don't feel, but have not used it as I don't feel confident. Can I use all the moulds we have to use with resin and polymer clay? Thanks, Cheryl from Middlesex.
Cheryl, thank you for asking that question. Indeed, you can. You can use those moulds and to great effect, and I think they're silicone-based moulds, so they don't need any kind of release or balm in them. I always recommend that you press the clay, well, use some polymer clay or some Play-Doh first, just to see how much clay you're going to need. So use that as a gauge first.
That's a really good tip.
Because you don't want to use too much. And then when you press your silver clay in, try and hollow it out with the knuckle of your finger, so that you're not having a big, thick, heavy piece.
Yes.
And allow the clay to dry inside the mould. And the reason for that is that it will pop out much easier because the clay will shrink away from the mould, and then when it's dry you'll be able to release it more quickly.
Do you know what? Some of the polymer clay moulds that we've got are, you can make rings out of them, and you can use them with silver clay and metal clay, and they look great. Yeah. Oh, what a lovely idea! Fantastic. Okay, so you've got your earrings down here, lovely.
5 pieces, and then you can see that we've got these really great raised up bits in the design.
Great.
So we've got hills and valleys in these these textures that absolutely suit the agate burnisher down to the ground in terms of just catching these raised bits, and you don't have to do anything but just literally rub the burnisher over those. And you're not
using all the pressure, are you? You're not really going for it. This is precious metal at the end of the day. It's 99.9% pure silver. And would you be able to make a pair of earrings like this out of the 7 grams of clay you get in the starter pack?
You'd probably get 2 pairs.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. That's good to know.
You'd have to keep rolling out, but you would get 2 pairs easily with that. So there you are.
Fantastic. This has been fascinating, Natalia. It's been lovely to see these brand new texture stamps. It's been fantastic to kind of catch up with you and dedicate a whole hour to silver clay, because I know there's a lot of you at home who want to see masterclasses dedicated to silver clay. If you want to book onto any of Natalia's workshops, please do speak to the call centre. There's one tomorrow, there's one on the 1st of August, there's one on the 5th of September, and they're going to be running throughout the year, and there's also going to be more project-based ones as well. How to fire gemstones with silver clay, how to make your own silver clay rings as well. So do bear that in mind. These texture stamps have been unbelievably popular, Natalia. It's just wonderful. They're both $14.95 each. They're brand new. You're the first people ever to get the chance to come in and get these exclusive to Jewellery Maker. The Twilight texture stamp at the bottom of the at the top of the screen there, and the Peacock Passion stamps as well at the bottom of your screen there for $14.95. Thank you so much, Natalia. This has been wonderful having you with us today.
Thank you.
And having these on the show, brilliant. You can use this with metal clay as well, I assume.
You can use them with all the metal clays and in any kind of clay, ceramic clay if you wanted to.
See, that's a lovely idea as well. So whether it's polymer clay, ceramic clay, metal clay, or with the silver clay, use them. They're absolutely fantastic. And I'm really, really pleased to say that a lot of the silver clay starter packs have been going throughout this hour as well. So you've clearly been inspired by Natalia's incredible silver designs. What you're making is 99.9% pure silver here. It really is a true, true art form. It's incredible. Thank you so much, Natalia. It's been wonderful having you with us today. Tune in for our next masterclass. We'll give you plenty of details about that. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you in a bit. Take care, guys. Bye.